The Warden, last of the Aether Knights, an ancient order sworn and charged with the task of overseeing the equilibrium between the 5 ethereal elements: earth, air, fire, water, and ether, woven into the core of Aetherion. His name has been lost to time, and he is known now only by his title. It had been before a web of etheric order, where all elemental powers swirled freely in their observed orbits under the directing guidance of the Aether Knights. But one apocalyptic event, the fracture, had shattered this world, disrupting the very flow of elements into chaos. The heavens turned to a canvas of despair, the seas rebelled with their wrathful tides, and the earth split open with sorrow as fires blazed with their uncontrolled wrath. The Warden now stands at the Nexus, the heart of Aetherion, where the elemental lines converge, adorned with ethereal armor, reverberating with the residual magic of his deceased kin, and wielding the weapon of an ethereal lance, allegedly fashioned from the very heart of Aetherion. His silent vigil spared the Nexus from the fall to discordant energies, which threatened to tear it asunder. He was going to deal with all the elemental aberrations birthed from the fracture in his lonely existence at the Nexus, but was going to have a Warden who would deal not only with this, but also with the weight of remembrance. Only his nightmares seemed to haunt him with visions of a time when Aetherion was whole and his brethren stood beside him. Unlike the broken world he defends, as the force of the fracture further emboldens the Warden, he will be met by the emergence of the Void Weavers, ethereal enemies thirsting to unmake the very fabric of Aetherion. A journey to see new things will now culminate in a trip of renewal as he finds the ancient relics of the Aether Knights, which just might hold the keys to restoration, passing through the devastated lands, entering the elemental sanctums, rekindling the ancient bonds between elements. The Warden is joined by elemental spirits that he could have awakened at the call of duty, and old and new allies of the spirits. Together, they will have to face darkness, seal ruptures, and heal the wounded world. And the plotline would answer the question of redemption for the Warden. The more he spends time in the company of the elemental spirits, the more he discovers the lost features of a human: compassion, friendship, hope. For him, these rediscovered feelings could be either the greatest treasure or the final ruin. That would direct the story to the point in which the Warden would enter the void and fight, finally, for the soul of Aetherion. And here the Warden shall decide: would he let the arising humanity that he had relearned to construct be sacrificed so he could use the power of the ethereal lance in fullness? Or should he, realizing new bonds, trust in the unity of elements to carry the day? It's a tale of rebirth, a saga of a world seeking to mend its fractured self, with the Warden as its keystone,